Well, it looks like Canon's come up with a major firmware update for the Canon R5 Mark II. It's version 1.3.0. From what I've read, it's a pretty major upgrade or firmware update, if you want to call it that. It's got several beneficial features here. And if you're like me, you're maybe a little apprehensive, as most people are, for updating firmware in their personal cameras. But I'm just going to go ahead and walk you through here and show you exactly what I did to do it. And it really wasn't as painful as you expected to be. But I do want to say there are a couple of things of why they recommend it. I'm not going to go through what this update's going to bring you. You can go to the website and look at that yourself. I'm not going to read all the points there. But I am going to mention a few things here that you may want to consider. Why updating to the 1.30 firmware may be worth it. For one, it's got, I'm reading my notes here, so bear with me while I look away. But it's got the massive autofocus buffs, and it adds the American football to action and priority to greatly improve registered people priority tracking. I'm not doing sports, so that may not be important to me. But also it has pre-continuous shooting, that is toggle, where you can finally assign pre-capture to a customized button. It also has video enhancements included, plus some crucial bugs fixes. I'm not going to get into all that as well and drag this video out. We're going to get straight to the update. But there is a couple of cravats that we do want to discuss, and one of them is make sure that you have pulled everything off of your SD cards or your video card there, because this firmware will wipe stuff out. Also, if you have any programmed like people recognition in the camera itself, all that customized programming, facial recognition, stuff like that, back it up. You'll have to go to the website and just do it. I'm not going to get into how to do that, but you can back it up basically onto a drive and save it. It's just good to be on the safe side because this update will basically bring the camera back to out-of-the-box experience, and you basically have to go in and reprogram a few things itself, and it will wipe out those pre-existing custom saves that you have there. Also, another critical note is once the backup is starting, make sure before you even start it, make sure that you do have a full battery pack in your camera itself. I was setting at 3/4 of a backup, 3/4 of a charge on my batteries, and I decided to go ahead and just slap in some fresh batteries, full charge, just to be on the safe side. Make sure you have a full charge because you do not want to touch any of the buttons. You do not want to power the camera down when the firmware is in progress of updating, because that will hose some things. And I'm sure you've heard nightmares about people who've bricked their cameras and basically have to send them back to Canon for whatever to get them fixed. And you don't want to do that. So let's go ahead and go into how to go ahead and download the software and unload it and put it into your camera and get the procedure started. And then we'll follow it with a conclusion. Okay, to begin with, I'm going to let you know that I am not a Mac person, so this is basically all done on a PC. I can walk you through on a PC, but as far as Macs go, I am not Mac savvy, and I don't want to lead anybody in the wrong direction. So if anybody's watching this thing that may be a Mac expert, leave your comments below. See if you can help out those with the Macs if you have some pointers for them. But again, this is strictly PC. Now, I've gone to the Canon website. You've probably got the email, like I said, and you've downloaded the actual file, the firmware update file. You'll see two folders in, or a folder and a file. This folder right here, which is the update procedures. It's various in different languages PDF information on how to install the firmware itself, precautionary measures to take, stuff like that. It's very intuitive. I'm not going to go through this whole thing, but just to let you know that is available. You can either print it out or just read it off the screen itself. Now, going back to the main folder here, or the main SD card, or actually it's in the downloads, that is, I'm sorry. Here, the FIR file is the actual firmware update file. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to put this onto our SD card from the camera itself. Not the CS Express. I guess you could do it from there, but we're just doing it from the SD card. That's what they recommend. So we're going to copy it to it. Let me go ahead and bring that other screen over here. And here is my Canon SD card here. It's in the directory here, the file directory. And what we're going to do, they want it in the root directory, and that will be anywhere that's inside this ES digital right here, this file area right here. Do not put it in any of these folders. That's not what they want. Easiest way to do that is right click, copy, go back to that screen that I somehow hid. There it is, and paste it. And it's going to paste it over there. It's a smaller file. It's only 200 and something megabytes, but since you are putting it onto an SD card, it's going to take a couple of minutes to copy. So let's just go ahead and let this do its thing here. Okay, it has copied over. The total time was about 6 or 7 minutes, maybe. A little bit longer than normal, but that's just perfectly fine. But you'll see now that the firmware is now on your SD card for your camera. Now our next step is to go ahead and load the card into the camera and update the firmware. So let's get to that. Okay, we're in the menu of the Canon R5, and we're going to go ahead and do the firmware. We're going to go ahead and maneuver over to the wrench icon, go to the last selection here, and you'll see firmware. According to mine, I've got the, as I said, the 1.0.2, and I'm going to go ahead and upgrade this. So let's go ahead and once the firmware is highlighted, we're going to go ahead and hit the set button, and we're going to update the firmware as needed. Version camera. Okay, we'll just go ahead and set again. Confirm the update. Okay. And now at this point, we don't want to do anything to the camera at all. You can't see it right now. It's off screen. It's not displaying, but it's actually loading the new firmware onto my camera itself. And as soon as this gets through, I'll come back to you. But an important note is to not do anything to the camera, no power off or anything. Now, one thing I will tell you that I've got here is I do have a confirmation on the back, and unfortunately I can't show it on screen, but it's basically saying firmware update program, update firmware with a question mark from 1.0.2 to 1.3.0. And it's giving me a firmware file name, and it's wanting me to cancel or say okay. I'm going to turn the dial to say okay, press okay, and set. It's now updating. It says do not turn off the power switch or touch any of the buttons at all. So I'm just going to back off here and let it do its thing, and I'll be back as soon as this gets through here. Okay, it took about 10 minutes, but the firmware was uploaded. It seemed to be successful. It wanted me to confirm it, and it did. And as you can see here, I've gone back to the original configuration with the different English and whatever, different languages. So we just have to go ahead and reset up the camera again, as if we're out of the box, out of box experience. But before using I don't want to set a password, but we'll worry about that later. You're just going to go ahead and set up the camera like you would out of box, and then you can go ahead and just get everything reconfigured and get back to business. Now, let me go ahead and see if I can set this up, and I'll get right back with you. Like I said, it's a little tense. I'm used to doing upgrades and stuff like that. I work in technology at a college. I'm used to doing upgrades and firmware upgrades, but when it's your own personal property, you get a little bit nervous. It seemed to go okay, though. So let me see if I can go through some of these set password things, because I don't want to set a password. I think if I can go down or whatever, I can bypass the password. I don't want to set a password. Anyway, I'll get right back with you. Hold on. Okay, it's going to require a password. So it's a 6-digit password you can put in there. It's something you'll remember. I've done that, and let's go ahead and just click start. Okay. and I gotta redo it. And it's once I get through with this, it should just be setting up the camera itself. Like it was out of box. Okay, set up the password. I'm going to find a way to get that password out of there because I don't really need a password to get into my menu for this camera, and I don't want to be bothered with that. But as you can see here, I've gone from 1.2.0 or 1.0.2, whatever, to a version 1.3.0. So the firmware update was successful, and if you have any problems, just like I said, you walk yourself through it. It's not that difficult. It's just a little nerve wracking if you've never done it on your camera before, and you've heard of stories where people have bricked their cameras. In this case, I seem to be successful. Well, that wasn't as painful as I thought it was going to be. My apprehension is normal. I work with computers and networks, my full-time job, and you'd think I'd be quite honestly comfortable doing firmware updates, and I am quite comfortably. Firmware updates don't bother me because they're somebody else's equipment. But when it comes to your own equipment, yeah, you get a little apprehensive. You never know what's going to happen. But again, this went fairly smoothly, and I hope this video has helped you out, kind of relieved a little bit of your anxiety for doing this update. Again, look at the website, look at the benefits. If you're running anything, I was running 1.2.0, so it was a major update for me. It's got some good features in there, some I won't use, and some which will probably benefit me. So if this video has been helpful, give it a thumbs up, like and subscribe. And this is Steve. I'll catch you in the next one. See you.